Hey guys, welcome back to the channel this week. If you're new here, I'm Chuck.
And I'm Alli.
And we are Alli Chuck Adventures. We thought this week we would take a little time to reflect on the year that was 2021 and our first year in Aquila, which is our Jayco HT 280 RSOK. Things we like and things we've discovered along the way that we do really like, things that we maybe don't like so much, which is a short list. We really like it. And we've put over 10,000 miles on Aquila this year. So we thought we would touch on some of the places we've been and some of the places she's seen this year and touch on the year that was 2021. It was quite a year.
Yes, it was.
So what do we think about our Jayco Eagle HT 280 RSOK after owning it for a year now and after putting over 10,000 miles on it? Well, that's one of the things we're going to discuss in this week's video, as well as just kind of do a little bit of a recap of some of the places we've taken Aquila this year. It was quite the year, 2021, that's for sure. So I'm starting off here with Aquila Springs, which is in Apopka, Florida. It actually was not our first RV trip with Aquila and the new Jayco 280 RSOK. We actually did the shakedown trip with that at Hillsborough River, but that's just a local getaway for us here. So we decided to start the year off here looking back at Aquila Springs. This was our first time staying there, and the springs were quite beautiful actually. A little crowded. And I guess from what we hear in the summertime, it gets even way more crowded. This was obviously in January, late January, early February when we went. So the springs were the same temperature they always are, but the air temperature outside was quite cold. Jumping forward to spring break, which was in March for Alli and I, we headed to Don Carter State Park. That is in Gainesville, Florida. This was a new state park for us in Georgia as well. We normally stay at Stone Mountain State Park when we're visiting her mom. So this was a little bit further away from her mom's house, but again, we like to try new things, and this was a new state park for us, and it was on Lake Lanier, which Alli has a lot of childhood memories of boating with her family, with her mom and stepdad on Lake Lanier. And this is the trip that on the way home, we almost made a big mistake by pulling into a small gas station with a big RV rig that we were not used to doing. Almost got trapped and narrowly missed hitting a gas pump. The next big trip that we had in 2021 was heading up to Pensacola for one of our Motley Crue tribute shows, and while there, meeting up with Kyle and Renee from Happily Ever Hanks. This was the first time we got to meet them and did some camping together at Big Lagoon State Park. Another first for us in 2021 was trying out a Boondocker's Welcome, which is actually down in Naples. It was Jamie and Sharon Stevenson's Boondocker's Welcome, which we have become obviously very close friends with if you follow our channel. Again, meeting up with Kyle and Renee while they were there, as they were boondocking as well. So fast forward to June, and Alli is out of school now. She ended up taking the trip up to Snellville, Georgia to take care of her mom, who had just recovered from pneumonia. I ended up driving up, me and Nikki, separately after work on the weekend and met up with Alli, and we ended up camping while we were there at Stone Mountain State Park. And while we were there, we were able to celebrate Alli's mother's 80th birthday, and we threw her a little birthday party along with some friends. And while there, we made a little day trip up to Helen, Georgia once again, and we were able to meet up with Kyle and Renee one last time, as Alli did not get to see them in St. Augustine. Another new state park for us, Torreya State Park, is up in the panhandle of Florida. We ended up going up there. We actually met up with Alli's dad and stepmom, and they camped with us alongside in their born-free Class C RV they call Sally. We also made a little trip over to Pensacola to let Jake meet up with some family and some cousins that he had not seen since he was like 17 years old. Some off-road jeeping up in Inverness, Florida, while staying at Holder Mine Campground. And I do believe this is one of the most fun trips that we had this summer, just doing all this off-road jeeping. We also, while we were there, we checked out some caves. I believe the name of the caves were Dame's Caves. We did some camping with Jamie and Sharon Stevenson again, along with some other friends of ours. Just an overall great trip. Now we're into October, and we ended up going down to the Florida Keys. We actually was able to get a site at Curry Hammock again during Fantasy Fest. And Fantasy Fest did not disappoint. It was awesome as always. Probably going to plan on going again this year. We're going to try to get a state park a little closer though, or end up staying at Boyd's Campground again. Now we're in November, and we ended up going to Silver Spring State Park. This is in Ocala, Florida, and this has been on our bucket list for quite a while. Unfortunately, just a day into the trip, I started getting sick, and I didn't get to enjoy it as much as we would have liked to. So we are definitely going to return, hopefully this summer, back to Silver Springs to explore more and do more hiking. Now we're heading on our Christmas trip 2021. Our first stop was Fort McAllister State Park. This is located in Richmond Hill, Georgia, and it was another new state park for us. We enjoyed it quite a lot, and a lot of history here. It kind of started off our whole Christmas trip with the Civil War theme. And finally wrapping up the year that was 2021 in Artillery Ridge Campground, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. This was definitely on our bucket list for a couple years, and I have to say that Gettysburg was everything and quite a lot more than what we expected. So it's definitely a place that we want to try to go back and explore some more. I feel like 3 days we just weren't able to do everything that we wanted to do and see everything we wanted to see. It's just so much history here.
Another thing I thought I would touch on in this video is the new tires that we got. And it's kind of hard to see because it rained last night, but these are Kumo tires, and they were rated very high for towing. And we noticed on our Christmas trip basically that we were getting 1 to 2 miles a gallon better gas mileage with these tires, so that was a pleasant surprise. And they weren't too expensive, about $1,100 for a set installed. So I'd say if you're looking for tires and you want some towing tires and you don't really need the off-road tires, I would highly recommend these Kumos. We've already put 2,000 or 3,000 miles on them, and they seem like they're holding up well. These are the Kumo Krudgen tires, and super happy with them. So putting about 10,600 to 800 miles on these Goodyear Endurance tires, they seem to be holding their tread pretty well too, I would say. Definitely do love the Goodyear Endurance.
So one thing we still do love about the RV is the outside kitchen and having the outside kitchen. But although we did take out the little Capital grill or whatever it was that was in here, I bought the Blackstone, and the Blackstone I can just turn and sit right in here. I store the cable propane hose for it underneath here, and I'm able to cook right here. It's a little high maybe for some people, but I'm 6'1". It's not been a problem cooking from here. And we love the Blackstone so much more than the grill that came with it. But having an outside kitchen is one of the things that we wanted, and one of the things we still do really love. Have not used the outside TV as much as we really thought we would. We used it probably more on our old rig where we had to take the TV in and out. But I think we probably will use it more this summer. Another thing that we thought we would like, and we still really do like, is having all of our hookups enclosed. And that really helped when we were up north and it was super, super cold. Nothing froze. Love the magnetic latches over the old style that we had on the other RV that would get brittle and break. These things have held up well and do the job nicely. And we've had some minor little things, as you know. I've had to adjust the slides, and if you've seen previous videos where I show how I adjusted this slide, if not, I will put a link up above and you can check that out. Pretty simple, and I think it's pretty well aligned now, and everything seems to work as it should. But we still absolutely love the layout, love all the windows that you can see out. It is, some people want their windows on their campside. We didn't really have a preference. We would have rather had the kitchen, which meant all of our windows were on the opposite of the campside. But for us, that's fine. We don't have kids we have to watch or anything of that nature. So just having all these big windows when you're inside is just is so nice to be able to just feel like you're in nature, but in the comfort of your own RV. I have still been having some issues with this awning. Even after I tore it apart and unplugged it, plugged it back in, I thought that fixed the problem. I've had a couple of instances where it has not wanted to work again, and basically all I did was just grab the arm and shake it, and it started going. So it's got to be a short in there somewhere. I've conditioned these rubber slides and everything, and they still don't want to come out all the way. If you have any ideas, maybe what I could do to make those things work correctly, drop a comment down below, because I almost feel like they're too slick, that they're not grabbing enough after I conditioned them. So I don't know. I even wiped them down trying to take some of that conditioning off. Seemed like it helped a little bit, but not entirely. So there's been a few little fit and finish things that we've had to deal with on the RV, like the sink coming loose. A couple things that was a little crooked that I fixed and straightened up. But overall, no major issues yet, other than that little piece underneath the refrigerator, which I'm not happy about. But would we buy it again?
Yes.
I think so. We really love the layout, and we do love Jayco. And we're going to see how she holds up for year 2, 2022. Camping season officially underway. This has been quite a relaxing weekend here at Colt Creek State Park. We've really enjoyed our time here. We have done absolutely nothing. This truck has not moved since we parked it. We've been hanging out with our friends over here, the Stevensons, Sharon, Jamie, and Ethan. They made the trip up from Fort Myers, and we've just been hanging out at the campsite doing absolutely nothing, and it's been nice. No sightseeing, no hiking, just sitting and enjoying each other's company. Well, I shouldn't say we didn't do anything. We actually did play some cornhole. So there was a little bit of physical activity involved. And Jeff and Sherry Peterson came up. They spent the day with us. We had lunch and dinner and played some games. Like I said, we played cornhole. Just enjoyed everybody's company, and it was a really good and relaxing weekend for once.
Oh, Chuck, who is this?
This is our new little adventurer.
Little Raina.
Mm-hmm.
We got a new dog.
Yeah, the Petersons just don't know it yet.
But you aren't giving her back.
What is it? Possession is 9/10 of the law.
That's what my mom always said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was her favorite thing.
She's a cutie.
Just like the dog I had when I was a baby.